Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach and author of Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. For 30 years of my business life, I used a system that we all know to reach personal goals and business goals. Many times, though, I felt like the basics of the SMART, or SMART, as a lot of people refer to it as, the SMART goal setting system, I always felt it was lacking something. And I really just couldn't put my finger on it. From time to time, I would research books on the internet looking for an improved system that would help you to achieve the goals in a more realistic fashion. And I tried several different systems, but I always came back to the SMART system as being easy to remember and then easy to execute. And it's certainly easy to teach. Then out of desperation to achieve an important goal and a difficult assignment I had, I set up my personal and team goals system in a little bit different manner. I'll share that with you in a minute. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page concerning what a SMART goal is. SMART, and again that's S-M-A-R-T, is short for specific is the S, M is measurable, attainable, and some people say accountable for the A, realistic or relevant is the R, and then T is time bound. So it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, or time bound. That's what SMART stands for, and that helps you to define your goal in a manner that makes it fairly easy for you to at least design steps to achieve that goal. A Google search will reveal variations of these based on what the writer deems most important in the goal setting and goal attainment process. Most of the articles that you're going to find on this subject will lack the depth necessary to convey a working knowledge of how to set a goal and then how to achieve that goal. So let's start with the reason that you're even thinking about setting a goal. No matter what in your life you are trying to achieve, there are two basic motivators that guide all of our actions. Distill it down, the two motivators are pain and pleasure. We all make choices based on either gaining more pleasure or avoiding pain. In goal setting, we work towards gaining something. Either we or our employer has said, hey, this is important and you got to work towards it. The achievement of the goal brings the pleasures that we've been seeking, and that's going to be like promotions and raises or just praise or recognition. All of those things people consider pleasurable. But the missing element in the SMART system is that motivation. How do we gain pleasure? How do we avoid pain? There's nothing being addressed on those two basic needs. And when you think about avoiding pain or gaining pleasure, that's what keeps you going when the goal hits a challenging point. And this is the reason that you want to hit the goal, is either to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. When you're writing a goal, avoiding pain, it can be a strong motivator, but you have to be careful in not becoming frustrated and stressed when avoiding pain is your key motivation for achieving a goal. Imagine setting a goal and the motivation is for you to keep your business open. Going gets tough here and there, and you might be tempted just to throw in the towel since your motivation is just staying open. Again, avoiding the pain of closing. So let's talk about the system that I came up with, and it's SMARTEST, S-M-A-R-T-E-S-T. And it stands for the questions that you have to ask or answer about your specific goal. So starting with the S, it's still the same. It's specific, and that answers the who, the what, the when, and the how of your particular goal. Measurable specifies the number or achievement that proves the goal is met. So it has to be something you can definitively say, when you achieve this number or this achievement, you've accomplished your goal. Then we're going to go into achievability for the A. So far we're specific, measurable, and now achievability. Can this goal be achieved? How will it be achieved? Is it within your current ability and talents? Is it realistic for your current business situation? What are the steps to go from the current situation to achieving the stated goal? So the achievability is the meat of the goal. How am I going to accomplish what I set up under the specific part of the SMARTEST system? So we've done specific, measurable, achievability. Now we're to resources, is the R. What money, supplies, people are needed to help you achieve the goal? And then T for time bound. Got to have a date. When you have a date, that creates a deadline that gives you that motivation to hurry up and get this done because the deadline is looming at some point. The deadline needs to be far enough out that you can actually accomplish all the steps necessary to achieve the goal, but it needs to be close enough so that you have that sense of urgency. Now we're going to add on the EST for the SMARTEST. The E is for ethical. If you guys are part of the Facebook group, you know I talk about being morally, legally, and ethically correct, and right. And it's only something that you can answer, because you can set a goal and it be an illegal goal. We don't want to do things that are immoral, illegal, or unethical. Then you want to do something that a lot of people have a difficult time doing, and that's share it. So the second S in smartest is for share it. Making a goal public or semi-public makes it feel more tangible. It gives you one more motivation to work hard towards the goal. After all, no one wants to brag about they're going to do something and then fail at it. This pressure can be stressful, so be careful who you share the goal with. Only share with folks that will gently hold you accountable, but will also be focused on helping you achieve the goal and not telling you, hey, I told you so, you can't do that. So you're looking for an accountability partner to share it with. And you can share it on a group if you wanted to, if you feel like most of the people are going to help you to achieve the goal. But you got to share it. Sharing it also helps you to talk it out. See, does it make sense to other folks? They might be able to help you tweak it to make it a more specific goal, one that you actually achieve. And then the T, the final T in smartest, is for the temptation. This is your personal motivation for the completion of the goal. And you want to think in very selfish terms of, what do I get out of achieving this goal? This temptation should be big enough to push you through those rocky times, but also satisfying enough when you achieve the goal that you want to set more challenging goals and set more of them more frequently and then work to accomplish them. If you don't have that temptation, that motivation to get you through those tough times, all of these steps just fall apart because you don't see the value in it. You don't have that temptation. Man, I've got to do this because I'll be able to buy that new car. I'll be able to hire 2 more people. I'll be able to buy that second truck. I'll be able to actually incorporate and be a big business and have a 3rd or 4th or 5th truck. You have to have that temptation that is personal to you. And that works whether you're doing a business related goal like for your food truck, or if you're still working for somebody and only doing your food business on the weekends or in the evenings. It still works for you when you're setting that goal. What do I get out of this? I'll get another raise. I'll get more days off. I'll get something. You have to have that temptation. Otherwise, it's not enough of a motivation for you to work hard to get the goal. Once you've decided on your goal, you have to write it down. This makes it tangible. Once it's written, then you use the smartest system to make sure that your goal is understandable, achievable, and means something to you on a personal level while pushing your business forward. So again, those steps are specific. Answer who, what, when, and how. Measurable specifies the number or the achievement that proves the goal is met. Achievability, just answer the question, is this really possible? Resources, what money, supplies, and people are needed to help you achieve the goal. Time bound, set a date. And if you have a big goal, you can set multiple dates for different steps within that goal, but have an end time in mind. Ethical, morally, legally, and ethically right and correct. Share it with accountability partners that will hold you accountable and encourage you along the way. Temptation, answer the question, what do I get out of this goal on a personal level that makes me want to do this? So let's take a simple goal and analyze it using the smartest system. The goal is, quote, I will increase my monthly sales 25% compared to last year by the end of April 2023. Specific. The who, of course, is the I in that statement. But if you add your name or add your business name, it makes it more personal. It gives you more ownership. And then there's nothing in here on the how. How will I raise the sales? It gives you the steps. What am I going to do? So you got to flesh that out. Measurable. 15% is a number and it's understandable. 25% increase is a number and it's understandable. However, performance in percentages is difficult to measure from day to day or week to week, month to month. A better listing for a goal would be last year's sales and then put the 25% increase on top of that and give yourself a set number. I will achieve by April 2023 X amount of dollars. And then that X amount of dollars equates to the 25%. Because now you can see that. You can see that every day that you're climbing towards that number, am I getting closer to it? When you're comparing percentages, you have to sit and do the math and pull out a calculator and you have to think about, is this 25%? Oh crap, I missed it. Or, oh, hey, I'm doing good. But if you have a set number with steps along the way, say in December, I need to be at 10,000. In January, I need to be at 11,000. In February, I need to be at 12,000. Then you can see those and go, I'm getting close. I'm doing it. Percentages don't always help identify things easily. Achievable. Only you know if a goal is achievable and within your ability. But if you take a big goal and break it into smaller steps, you can certainly climb any mountain. So you're looking at, can I hit those sales? Or can I do whatever the goal is? And if you can't do it just yet, break it down into smaller steps so that you can work towards that goal and you can see your accomplishments as time passes. Resources, you're going to talk about ads and people and money and actions or actions you plan on taking. You're going to make a list and then define the cost for each of those different things that I mentioned. Time bound, specific dates, and if you need to, put smaller steps with completion dates to give yourself little mini deadlines to meet as well. Keeps you moving towards the big goal. And then, of course, ethical is answer the question, are my planned actions legal, moral, and ethical? And if you get a no on any of those, then continue to redo and refine what you're doing until you can answer all three as a yes. Once you cross the line and damage your own integrity, what have you really gained as far as being a business owner, being a good person within your community? And if you cross the line in a public way, then you damage your reputation, you damage the business. Share it. Accountability partners, friends, family. What small business owners often need is that swift kick in the pants when they don't meet their own business expectations. Often new owners have experience with bosses, and the bosses will look over the shoulder and kind of hold them accountable for, hey, you're not doing what I asked you to do. But when new business owners become their own boss, they've lost that person that holds them personally accountable for the results. Guests can only give feedback on food and service, and both of those can be stellar, but the business can still lose money and eventually go out of business. And this is just a shameless plug, but being an accountability and partner is something a business coach does. And I'll hold you accountable for your results, and I'll do it in a way that gives you that swift kick if you need it, but I'll also point out ways for you to improve and get better on what your goals are so you can attain them. And then that last T, temptation. Ask what's in it for me, and keep asking and answering until you get that smile on your face and the excitement in your gut that lets you know you can't wait to get started. If you never get that smile or that excitement in your gut, the goal just doesn't have that wow factor, and it doesn't have the wow factor to you, and you're most likely not going to chase it with the gusto that a good, properly set goal deserves. Once the process is completed and you have a goal and a plan to achieve that goal, you got to get out there and do it. Once the process is completed, you will have a goal and a plan to achieve it. Now, all you got to do is get out there and go do it. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you find all of the information helpful to your food truck business, please consider becoming a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button and follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. If you need a business coach to help you reach your food truck business's full potential, check out my affordable services. As always, links are in the description. Thank you again so much for listening. Come back tomorrow. You know, I got plenty more to say about the food truck industry.